Hi.
Hi, friends. I love this. Let's see. Welcome to Harmony Vintage Tutorials. We don't have a name, but that works for the idea. Angie, this is Angie. She's my wonderful, talented wife. Pretty hot, too, I got to say. But that's not what we're here for. We're here because Angie has been doing some tutorials for a little over a month, I think, now.
Yeah.
And they're starting to pick up some steam, and we've had some wonderful feedback. Thank you, everybody, for encouraging my wife. It was a real step for her to step out and do this. And thank you for rewording her with your nice comments. They're very tender, and I appreciate them. Thank you.
Yeah, they mean a lot to me, so thank you.
Oh, well, yes, I think if more people knew you, I think a lot of people know you being sweet and talented, but they don't know that it took a lot of courage for you to do this. So
this is a different kind of thing.
Very proud of you.
So thank you.
What are we working on today?
Well, we are filming this intro before I've done anything. So it's a little risky what I think we're going to do. I'll share what I think I'm going to do today. So we shared with you a while back that our son works for the bullpen in Estes Park. And so he brings me their empty bottles from their bar. And so I have a collection of these amazing bottles.
I thought you had a drinking problem.
It does look that way. And so I've been looking for something to do. And what do you know, just like a week ago, I think Debbie's DIY released a video where she used some bottles. Her bottles, I don't think they were liquor bottles, but they were clear bottles. And she used some IOD and some DIY and made these really beautiful bottles. And so I thought, you know what? Now's the time I'm going to try it.
Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, and I want to encourage you, if you've never watched one of her videos, she is a treasure, don't you think?
She's one of the faves in this house.
Oh, yes.
Angie's primarily in charge of all that stuff, but I enjoy her. She's just pleasant to listen to. She's very kind. She's informative. I love her products. Deb DIY is my favorite. So
yes, I love her products. And then her videos, they're just different. No one makes videos like she does.
They're kind of instruction and story a lot of times.
Yes, a lot of storytelling in hers. So
I like stories.
So I would encourage you to check that out, check her out, maybe follow her on YouTube or Facebook. And then so what I did with these three bottles, because they're all pretty different. I love this one. It's kind of wavy and chunky. This one kind of looks like a genie bottle a little bit.
It does. This one's kind of like old glass, kind of.
Yeah. Like so I love the texture on it. And this one's a little more plain, but for what I'm going to do, I think it may be the one I end up actually liking.
It's very friendly to the project.
It is. So I have also just kind of gathered up some IOD transfers, and they're going to be my inspiration for the colors and the design. And then I'll use, that one. I thought this was originally for Christmas, but it's a bunny, so it works for spring, don't you think?
Can't imagine what you were thinking there. Yeah, that's awesome.
So he might show up, or there might just be flowers. There's this cute little bird.
You mind if I just kind of meander through your stuff here?
Oh, no, please do.
Because you got some great stuff here.
Yeah, so my idea, like with the rabbit, possibly, is to do some reverse decoupage on here. And so you'll be able to see through the jar. And then with IOD, we have stamps, we have molds, we have the transfers. We can just play and have a good time and build that out. So
I'm excited about this. I Dream a Genie bottle. That is very good. That was very descriptive.
I know. I like this one. And I feel like because it almost has 4 little window panes on it. And I thought maybe I have some fairies. I don't know.
Ooh, fairies.
We're just going to play and see.
I like fairies too. I like that mushroom.
Yeah, I thought fairies and mushrooms might be fun.
I'm going to be a distraction, I can tell.
Maybe you need a bottle and you can do your own bottle. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this one, this pretty rose. How cool would this be? So there's this pretty rose, and then on the front, there's this pretty poem about a rose. This is from The Lover of Flowers, and I don't know, I might try
so
that.
You get like a dimensional kind of thing. Oh, very nice.
So I don't know. The possibilities truly are endless. Who knows what these are actually going to end up looking like? But I know I'm going to have a good time.
I know you're going to have a good time, and I know you're going to end up with something beautiful, because you always start, you kind of have an idea, but you're not really sure. And then you kind of, as you progress along, it just becomes more and more beautiful.
Yes, it is. For me, it is a progressive vision. I start with a general idea, and then what is working and what's not working influences the final product.
It's a process.
Yes.
It's a process.
Yes, and who knows, one just might get thrown in the trash if I just get frustrated enough with it. But that's kind of the fun thing about these. These are the perfect canvas. Like they were free to us. I mean, these were actually just going to be thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
So. If I can make something beautiful, that's bonus. And if it's a fail,
I think you will. And that's something you do really well. I've always thought that you are very resilient. You step out, you might fall down once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, but you get back up and you accomplish your goals. That is amazing and inspiring. And you don't get mad.
Yeah, not usually.
See,
it happens every once in a while. I might get really frustrated, but for the most part, I don't know. Part of the process, before I start this, I know there will be things that don't go well. I know it. So I don't know which things those are, but when I encounter them,
you'll be like, oh, there you are.
Not really a surprise.
I need some more of that in my life.
Yeah, life is kind of like that, isn't it?
It is.
So,
shall we get started?
Let's get started.
Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. There's going to be a little transition here as Angie jumps into her products. And again, I thank you for encouraging my wife.
So I'm going to start on this bottle, and I'm doing exactly what Deb did on hers. I measured out my rice paper, and I think we're going to go ahead and go with this pretty rose. And I'm going to use Apothecary for my background. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is just what she did. I'm going to paint my rice paper, which feels really weird and wrong. But we'll see what happens. And I've measured it out, but I feel like I could quite easily trim it more if I need to. I decided to go with having it a little bigger than I need in case I want to. Yeah, it's weird to paint paper. I'm not going to lie. And you thought, when Rick gave me this can, he's like, I don't think there's anything in there. And I was like, yeah, there's something in there.
Don't waste my Debs.
I know. It's too precious. I do have a whole full container in case you're worried. we will have enough.
She's got backups.
I do. Apothecary is a staple. That is such a great color. Ooh, I feel nervous like I'm going to rip this paper, but it's holding together pretty well. I just ordered my rice paper off of Amazon. So I don't know. Probably lots of places you could get it. That's where I got mine. I'm going to do this, just this one coat, let it dry all the way. While I do that, I'll probably work on something else. So, I did rip that one a little bit. I think it's going to be fine though. All right, that was my sign. I need to settle down.
Here's your sign.
Settle down. But here it is. And it's definitely wet. That's why it actually started to rip, because it's starting to soak into the paper a little bit. But let's let that dry. I will put sealer on here. Then I'll transfer my rose on here, and then we'll put the decoupage medium on and apply it to the jar this way.
That's going to look so good.
So I
can see it coming together in your head already.
Well, in theory, that's what's going to happen. So let's set this aside and let that dry. Right, so I'm going to try this bunny, which I'm going to cut quite a bit of this off on the bunny, so it's mostly just the bunny. And we're going to try this Cottage color in, what's the name of this? Some kind of pink.
So on the top?
Oh, Vintage Pink. And this has a built-in sealer in it. So it's quite a bit thinner, you can tell. So I probably ought to be a little careful when I'm painting this paper. While those are drying a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my rabbit. So I just mostly just want it to be the rabbit and a little bit of the green underneath there because I want to spring them up a little bit. So, and on these transfers, that's one of the great things about these is that you can cut them up and piece them together and overlap them. So we'll just get him cut out. I'm going to try this new stamp. I haven't tried this yet. This is from the Velveteen stamps. And I'm going to try my new grass color. And that's going to be my background for my bunny. I wanted it to be a little bit light. Now I am going to apply this to my paper. So I'm going to remove this backing and I can kind of hover over here until I get the placement that I want. But now I can start applying the transfer. Pretty. So now we're going to decoupage this on. That's why we're calling it reverse decoupage, because it's really the front of it that we want to attach to the bottle.
That's going to be awesome. I can feel it in my bones.
I hope so. I am kind of nervous. Decoupage is not something I've done a lot of. So we will see. So I'm going to put a nice thick coat on here because this rice paper is pretty thick. And now that it has the transfer on there and the paint and it's sealed, I don't think it'll rip, but we'll see. I trimmed the little ripped spot off too, so. All right, let's pop this bottle up here. Flip this over. Get this laid on here. I may have to add more decoupage medium. I don't really know.
It's going to be awesome, dear.
And I'm using the same thing that Deb used on her video. I'm using the liquid patina. Actually looking pretty good.
Let's see. Oh my.
Very
nice.
I'm going to add a little bit of this here on the edges.
That looks awesome.
I know, it's kind of cool, isn't it?
It's super cool. It looks so vintage and kind of manufactured in a kind of old-fashioned kind of way. Like a picture coming through the back of the bottle. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Enthusiastic thumbs up.
I like it too. So we need to let this dry. Now we're going to put our little bunny on here. I like him. It's kind of funny when I cut around it and took the background, it made the rabbit look very different to me. Ooh, he's cute. Let's let that one dry now.
Whoop, whoop.
I added a little trim on here with the air dry clay. And I taped this off. I know Debbie did hers kind of more freehand, but I'm a little more structured than that, I guess. I wanted to do it that way, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I am just going to put a coat of Apothecary all over this. Lining this up is a little tricky. It may not be perfect. I really like how that is looking. I do have one more piece to go across here, but this is very curved, especially right here on the edges. So I'm thinking about trying something a little different here. So this is the piece that I'm thinking. And I think I'm going to put it right here across the top. So let me work on that and we'll see. So there is the lettering at the top. I think I'm liking how this is coming together. We're getting close. I'm still deciding what else it needs, but we'll put some gold up here. I'm just using a little sponge to kind of get those edges. Just kind of makes that, kind of softens that line a little bit. And I'm doing that even here on the edge. So I'm just gonna stamp the word spring on here. I'm gonna use some black ink, and I used the Apothecary Labels mini stamp set. Looks like this. And I felt like these letters fit pretty nicely on this bottle. So let me go ahead and ink this up. Decided to use black because I want it to show up well enough. And now I'm going to paint this label here with the rub and buff. I'm just adding a little rub and buff on a sea sponge, just right around those edges that I sponged on with the pink paint.
Okay, you ready?
I am.
Let's go for it. Why don't you show? You did such a good job. Boom, boom, boom.
Thank you. I'm actually pretty happy with how these turned out too. So I ended up with 2 bottles. One bottle I just didn't finish. It's turning out pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome. But
yeah.
As of recording time, it wasn't done. But that's the I Dream a Genie bottle.
I know. I'm kind of happy with that one. So I'll work on that more later. But we did complete 2. And this was the one, the first one. Oh, I was wondering. Yeah, Rick put some fairy lights in there because I think the darker color, you can't see the rose quite as well.
I think it was a little bit of the top here too. It's not getting as much light, but
yeah, I did this bottle first, and then when I did the second bottle, I kept the top a little less painted to let more light in. And I am happy with both of them.
Do you have a favorite?
I don't know. I bounce back and forth. I like different things about each bottle.
Right.
But this one looks the most like what I was trying to duplicate from Debbie. So I think this one looks the most. And we'll do some close-up pictures and a little video so you can see the detail on here. But in the video, I was really absorbed in the process, and sometimes I didn't explain things, all the products that I was using. I will list those at the end of the video, all the different products that we used, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with them.
I think they turned out amazing. I'm so proud of you. You did such a good job.
Thank you.
I saw you pivot and pivot and pivot and pivot.
Yes.
And I think they turned out wonderful. So
yeah,
you did a tremendous job, dear. Tremendous.
Well, thank you.
So you want to go through your stuff that you did?
I'm not going to go through all of them, but of the IOD products that we used, we did use the Velveteen new stamp set. That was on the back behind the bunny. There's a little bit. I used the new grass ink, and I don't know if you can see that really well in that picture, but I really like the effect that it did.
Yeah.
The spring comes from the Apothecary Labels set. So that's where that came from.
And looks amazing.
This piece on the front, I had to add that piece because there was lettering on the bottle, like raised lettering. And so I just covered it up with the lock and key mold. I used this piece here on the top.
That's a super versatile mold.
I know.
That is super versatile.
I know. This is the first time I used it, and I was really happy with it.
What about it? Oh, nope, it's the other one.
Oh, and the bunny, he actually came from the Fairy Merry Christmas set, which is an old retired Christmas set. But I still have pieces left, and I'm happy with him. He turned out pretty great.
It turned out beautiful, dear. It turned out, because you can't tell in any way, shape, or form that's Christmas.
No.
You completely.
He turned out very springy.
That.
Yes.
There we go.
And then for this bottle, we used the Trimmings one mold.
Right up here.
I used this piece here for the top in some air dry clay. And then for the flower, that came from the Lover of Flowers
the background
set. There's the flower here. And then for the gold that's on the outside, there's gold here and up here at the top. Those came from the gilded, let's see if I can show it.
There we go.
The gilded Etiquettes set. So, and we have all of these available if you want to order from harmonyvintagedecor.com online, or they're in both our Sugar Mill and Vintage Marketplace booths. So
I don't think we have Fairy Merry anymore.
No, we do not. The gilded Etiquettes we have, and the Lover of Flowers, but yeah, the Fairy Merry has been retired, and we haven't had any of those for a while. Through. Yeah, but I think everything else, the stamps, the molds, the inks, we have all of those things in our booth or online.
And you did a tremendous job, dear. Tremendous. I'm so proud of you. Well done. Another awesome tutorial. I guess we'll wrap this thing up and go get to editing, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Get it put together and get it online. Well, thank you for watching, and we do like to hear from you. So if you have comments or questions, please feel free to comment on YouTube or Facebook, and we will get back to you as soon as we can.
As soon as we can. Thank you, guys. We see you. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Let me try to do this.